Oh wait, might I just add how pathetic this work area is? It's literally just two TV trays and a laptop. But you know, I guess the calculator makes it a workplace. This week we're going to review some scenes from the show, and I am going to review them with you. So we're gonna watch some moments that perhaps you had not seen, and we're gonna look over some moments that I just want to revisit because maybe my thoughts are different now. That being said, let's watch some clips. And yeah, I ended up canceling the show that I had planned on April Fool's Day. That's a shame because what I planned on doing was telling Rod that he could host the show that week. You mean I'm not hosting the show the first week of April? Well, no. It was all in fun though, Rod. Okay, so the setup is
I know this is the third
I
consecutive
I
show
canceled
that I've
on
been
Rod, who was
you wanna be
very
that way,
excited to host a show, but it turned out it was an April Fool's
Rod, we're
gag.
just having fun.
And now Rod,
So,
being
listen,
passive
I left
aggressive,
you a little present in your lockbox over here.
he manipulated
Why are you going through my
something.
stuff? Why don't you open it?
Yeah, he manipulated my
I'm
box
scared.
over here
I
that
don't-
you
I don't
see
wanna
right here.
open it. What are you checking?
And this was actually something I wanted to do for a long
Chicken?
time.
First
Like,
off,
I've been a
it's not-
big fan of
it's chicken wings.
Nickelodeon, the Kids' Choice Awards,
Second, I
for a
just
very
started
long
opening this in the
time.
house.
And
Fine,
I just
show
always
yourself.
wanted to get slimed,
Hey,
but
could you do me a favor and yeet me over
I had
to the
to
couch over
do it
there?
myself. Oh wait, I love this part.
Yeah, sure, it'll be my pleasure. Yahoo!
I always loved how
I
Rod
never said I
segments
was a
end.
ventriloquist, ladies and gentlemen. But I've been to like one too many orientations and safety meetings to be oblivious enough to open this indoors, so why don't I just take this as far away from the house as possible? Come with me.
Alright, so I made it look like a smooth cut of me leaving the set, leaving the house. Everybody say hi to the tripod, you can see it right through the door. This was just a poor attempt at slapstick. Listening like it's ticking or something. I'm actually proud of the sequencing. Yeah. Take it as far away from the house as possible, but realistically the house is actually smack close to me. That's a little crazy. If you're wondering what that slime was made of, it was made of Hawaiian punch, green food coloring, vanilla yogurt. Yeah, it was gross. Especially because it was left out. Shame. You can kind of hear me laughing, but I was wondering how we could end this because this was shot 2 days before the actual episode was shot. So what I did was this weird thing. All right, so this next clip we're about to look at, it's from at one point this was my most popular episode. I don't know why because it had a lot of dislikes. Also, this is the episode where I notoriously or infamously, infamous, I think that's a better word, infamous, drank a lot of Red Bull and Sprite. So let's try to sit through this one without cringing. So.
Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm your host, Rob Rodriguez. Now, we're going to do something a little different. I'm going to categorize the topic in parts, even though there's 2 topics an episode. So technically, there's going to probably be 5 topics this episode. So everywhere you go, everyone you meet, there who are
Red Solo
comedians.
Cup.
Not
you're
the
blah, blah,
kind
blah.
that do
You know the
stand up in
Toby Keith song.
HBO
You know it.
specials. I mean the kind of people that categorize as a comedian. I'm going to discuss it in this routine. I'm
Really,
about to give
Rob,
you.
really.
So, first you have the quiet guy comedian. You know, the guy who's
You
always
don't
quiet,
say.
and then every time he talks, it's funny. Now, everyone knows someone like this unless, you know, all your friends are loud, or imaginary, or a puppet. I mean, he just stands there minding his own business, usually next to the one that is talking, and then he'll throw in something
He was
that
trying to
actually
save
makes
that
so
joke.
much
We used
sense
to do that a lot.
that
Save
it
jokes.
makes people laugh, you know? Well, next we have your guy at work comedian, who is by the water filter. By the way, I hate those triangle cups. I mean, how do you even hold them? You can't even set them down. You can't even put them in your cup holder in your
Okay,
car.
okay. So, I bet you're wondering, why did you post this? And is there any hope for this episode? What saved this episode? Well, let's see. It was October 2015. What better way to save an episode than to reference something that was very popular at the time? That's right. Five Nights at Freddy's. Look at that box of donuts.
Five Nights at Freddy's. Let's see what this is about.
Rob, you trying to get judged? Like, 7 years later, I'm judging that. Like, that's just very unprofessional. Rob, seriously, you're a mess.
Okay. I would never want to be a security guard. Okay, seriously, what is the point of this? I don't get it. Wow. Slender called and wants its patience back. Yeah, 'cause you get it. Okay, let me just check my
Mhm.
cameras.
Come on, Rob. So it was always a goal of mine to shoot the show in a different location. And I once had the opportunity to film an entire episode in my high school's TV studio. At that time, I had graduated a year earlier, so looking back now, if I did that today, yeah.
So you may have noticed we are not in our usual studio. I mean, if you haven't, well, you're probably new to the show, or you're thinking to yourself, he got better at Photoshop backgrounds, look at that. Well, anyway, neither of those, well actually, it's most likely you're new to the show, but this is definitely no Photoshop, I can touch this. Well, we are recording live from my old high school's school news studio. And isn't it refreshing that we are the only news studio, that is not covering the election right now? Live TV, am I right? Okay, so honestly, I'm kind of bored with it, with this election. I mean, I just want November 8th to just show up already, if you know what I mean. Because honestly, they've had me at, I think my microphone's broken.
Okay, I bet you're wondering well, I bet you're wondering what all of that was.
Welcome.
But when season 3 started, I briefly changed the theme music to, did somebody order a pizza? Sorry, we don't make jokes like that here. Okay, moving on.
Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm your host, Rob Rodriguez. Now, it is pretty good to be back. I just wish I came back a little more relevant than I am now. Yeah, because I'm not really with it in these times at all. 2016, as mentioned last week or 2 weeks ago, is like a foreign language to me. I just don't understand it. Last time.
And moving on to the next show. So in 2016, I had the opportunity to do my first April Fool's show, and the joke was that I was broadcasting on public access television in the 90s, but the references were just very, very, very inaccurate, to say the least.
I mean, listen, I got a huge collection of videotapes, all right? I got a great selection in my library.
You see the Nintendo in the background?
I got Big, I got
That
Jurassic
wallpaper is
Park.
just hideous.
I got, ooh, this is a good one. I got E.T. You know, because once in a while you just love the phone home, you know? Wow, there's really
I don't
not
think
much to
people
do on public access,
owned VHS
especially
in the 90s. I think they
1994.
rented
Wow,
at
this
video
sounds so
stores.
weird. I mean, when the president should be in the White House, he's just playing saxophone.
Okay, so the joke is it's April 1st, 1994, and then I reference President Bill Clinton on Arsenio playing the saxophone. He was running for president when he did that. This boob, this 19-year-old boob, Rodriguez over here, wearing his shirt inside out and short sleeve, I assume my uncle gave me. I'm disappointed in you, Rob. This boob, like, just improvised a whole thing about being in the 90s without doing the research. But you know what? I guess it's not his fault because CNN did not put out that special about the 90s yet. Did they, Rob? Did they? Sometimes a sketch will be put on the show. At the time, it feels like it's great. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. But when I look back at it, it feels like just feels like a total fever dream. Like this one, for example, titled Rod's Game Night, which was from October 2019. Let's take a look.
Alright, and remember guys, this game is called Uno.
Can you tell I'm actually yelling from outside a door?
Right? Stu, you learned the lesson last time?
Bro, just over my head. Yeah. It's actually a pretty good Johnny Depp impression. Not so much on the Minion impression. No.
The Minions, Bob, you said it right. Okay guys, listen, I know it's your turn to host the game night here, but it's 12:30 in the morning. Can you guys keep it down? I got a bit of a thing I'm doing here. Oh, come on, Rob. This is my
What you don't know is
that's
that's the same 3 Uno cards on a
You have your
Sharpie,
hands free.
and I'm puppeteering everybody in that shot.
I have to use the
It
in the master
is
blah blah.
Cursed.
Just remember to turn off the light when you're done, please.
Fever dream. It's like... Next, I thought I'd share some unaired footage with you. So this is stuff that was meant for the show, but I never aired it. Okay, so this is usually the part of the show that's like, you know, a good first impression, and it kind of like welcomes the viewer. It's kind of in what the... It's kind of a weird type of mute. What the heck? It's ladies and gentlemen, it's the shirt that most people have seen me wear a lot on this show, but I'm trying to make a pact to not wear it this season because, let's face it looks like it's walking by itself. You know, there's some bleach stains on the bottom, but with the power of camera magic, you can't see it. Wear me. Did this thing just talk? Put me on. I don't know, I don't know, I'm just not that guy anymore, that checkered pattern. Rin cycle. What? Oh. There is a number of reasons why this couldn't air. Okay. Next week, you win. Okay, I believe this next one is from an episode that was actually canceled.
So just like a lot of you, it's very hard to find an accurate source for
Hello,
how you
tape
get
on
your
my
information.
glasses.
I mean, some of you might get it from Wikipedia. I get mine from the crazy cat lady next door that yells at her spoons. Small world.
I'm sorry, Rob, I don't know anything you're saying.
I just
I'm
remember for some reason that
just paying attention to
for
this.
some reason my school did not want us to do our PowerPoint presentations using Wikipedia. So me being the ABC student I was, I
I
used
could
Reddit
swear we
instead.
used this for a recent episode.
Yeah, ask me anything. I'm an open book. Yeah, so speaking of the internet, I went on Google the other
Yep.
night because I wanted
Definitely
to...
use this in a
I got
recent
to
episode.
thinking, how long does it take to get great at something, master a skill? And I'm like, why did this Dan and Shay song just pop up? Like, I didn't need to know anything about 10,000 Hours. I mean, it's a good song. Like, Justin Bieber has a line in it. But then I'm like, oh, it takes 10,000 hours to master a skill. What? 10,000 hours? I mean, they give a teenager their learner's permit, and then after a year, they can go all NASCAR on the highway. Don't do that, by the way. That's a bad example.
Okay, what you just witnessed is a phoned-in version of things that later made it into the show.
Now this is something that sounds like me to open this show with a theme song parody. I'd like to begin with No Mistake. This verse itself took 56 takes.
How obvious on a scale of 1 to 10 is it that I was a TV production student in high school?
When it comes to basketball, I cannot play. Edit videos at night, I work during
93
the day.
Volvo.
I started this show while still in high school. I remind my viewers of that so they know I'm not new. But that rare week when the show isn't good, I don't know, something went misunderstood. But I don't stress, I try to forget it, even when the haters tell me I don't get it. This here is the
Yeah, way to go,
rap.
showing your
You could
address
say
in the video.
It's the rap of the rap. Let's get this thing started, no time to spare. Because
Also,
third party, this cannot
10 out of
air.
10 on that lip syncing job, Rob. 10 out of 10. Well, that is the show for you this week. You know how to follow me on social media. Until next time, we will be back in our usual format next week, and I hope to see you then. So this was fun. If you'd like to see more videos like this one, please just let me know on anywhere you can reach me. Like I'll see it because I get very few messages. Well, that's my time. Later.